So I posted a toe touch video today and got some feedback on that stimulated some thought in regard to the models that we use to try to determine what's going on, how to intervene, and then whether we were successful or not. And so the more models that you can access and utilize and filter your information through, the more successful you'll be, because while we can't see reality or probably identify the truth, we can definitely get closer to it, and therefore we can be more successful. So if we just use the toe touch as an example, some folks might be as simple in their thinking as to say that, well, it's a limitation in the hamstrings that doesn't allow you to bend forward and touch your toes. And under certain circumstances, they might apply a hamstring stretch and then get to the desired outcome. And so in their mind, they would say, well, my model is correct, and therefore I will continue to use this model. And so that's actually okay. But when that model then fails, they don't have anywhere else to go, because they don't have another model to filter it through. And so when we look at something as complex as movement, we want to try to have as many models or an expansive model that provides us any number of influences. Because the more influences we can take into consideration, the more strategies we have, and then the more likely we are to achieve the desired outcome. So if we're looking at the toe touch again, let's take the hamstrings off the table, because it's almost never that. But if we looked at skeletal position and how that changes with breathing, and if we look at the way viscoelastic tissues behave, and we look at how the nervous system protects us from falling forward, and we look at the influence of how breathing creates compressions and expansions throughout our movement system, and we consider how center of gravity influences the recruitment patterns, and then we take any number of induced influences. Like if you look at the video, we used the heels elevated variation with the ball squeeze. That's going to influence the behavior of the musculature that might actually be either promoting or limiting our ability to bend forward and touch our toes. So now we have any number of influences. And so we've just expanded the model as to how we actually achieve or what might limit the toe touch. And so that's the goal. The goal is to continue to expand your model that makes it more useful under many more circumstances, rather than making an assumption that, oh, this is simple, it's this one thing, and to appreciate the complexity and to why we have to use models in the first place. So, food for thought.